Hi, I'm Gila Nehemiah, sacred erotic self-love intimacy mentor, mystic, poet, and author. I guide women to live a limitless life of unconditional love. My mentoring focuses on trusting the internal GPS, intuition, body, and heart. My guidance helps people to increase awareness on their divine bodies, heal traumatic wounds through writing. I am so glad to be here live with you. Either you're live or you're listening on the replay. So I'm really, really excited to be here. We are going to be doing live self-love, intimate affirmations and healing starting on December 11th. So I just wanted to let you know what that's about in this live today. And I wanted to ask you the question, if you've ever been in a challenging relationship that closed your heart, are you looking to heal, trust your heart and your intuition? This is an important topic because I, maybe like you, was really, really shy as a young girl. And I hardly ever spoke, it was just like I felt really afraid to talk. And then it led into a marriage, many years later, where I really felt shut down, and there was a lot of anger and I just, just like my father used to have a bit, and I just didn't know how to handle it, so I just always kind of shut down. I closed my mouth. I didn't say anything. I allowed, abusive stuff to happen to me because I couldn't speak. So it was like right here, it was like blocked, and I just had so much fear. Why am I talking about this? Because of the ongoing fear that I had throughout my childhood, and then it went on into my marriage, it was all about me not being able to open my voice. And I don't blame anyone. I just say I was really locked up. Of course, experiences happen to me. But what I'm trying to say is that it was very, very challenging for me to talk. Even in my classes and everything, it was really hard to talk. And what had changed my life was self-love. As I became older, like in my 40s, I finally was like, I can't have this anymore. I just can't continue like this. I can't be afraid to say my feelings and my thoughts, to anybody, much less a romantic partner, someone I'm intimately involved with. I couldn't even speak. I couldn't say what was on my mind. I let people do things, even if I didn't really want to. And so I started slowly, in this self-love, and I started to affirm myself. I actually had little cards that said I was beautiful, I was amazing, I can talk. And it was really important to me to do that. And, right now, if any of you are feeling that, I'd love for you to just really feel into your throat. This is the throat chakra. And, really as part of the self-love exercise that I'm going to be doing for 21 days, starting on December 11th, is to really give yourself love in the places where you need healing. And it's such an important process to really give ourselves love and to really affirm ourselves and say that it's okay. It's okay, whatever has happened to us. It's okay what we felt. It's okay to feel pain. It's okay to be afraid. Everything is okay. It's the acceptance of what was and allowing what is, and then knowing, that you will get up and what will be will be. And it's such an important process to go through, at least for me. And it's really about being intimate with yourself. I became very, very intimate with myself. I allowed myself not to always do what others were doing. I finally just, closed up and decided, okay, who am I? I just sat in nature for a little while with my dog and just looking at the beautiful nature around me. And I was just like, I don't need anything else. But I was this young person, and then an older woman who didn't know how to really state her needs. That's what ended up happening when I became so shy and so afraid, is I couldn't even state my own needs. I couldn't say what I wanted. I couldn't say what I wanted to my partner. I couldn't say what I wanted. It came to a point where I was able to express more and more, but it was because I decided that I deserve it. And I had to affirm that daily, that I deserve it. I deserve to state my own needs. I deserve to have my own needs met. I deserve to be the person that I want to be, and I will take up that space. I will claim my own space. And why am I talking about this? I'm talking about what has happened to us before continues in our life, and we compound it until we actually release it and let it go and create a new story in our minds and in our hearts. It's all connected to our heart space of loving ourselves deeply. And loving yourself deeply is also opening up your throat, allowing yourself to speak, giving yourself with your hands. Even right now, you can give yourself that love, like give yourself that compassion. Really feel your throat and really allow yourself to be who you really want to be. Your hands are an extension of your heart. Until we give it to ourselves, no one's going to give it to us. We need to be the mechanism, the vehicle for our own love. And anything that's happening in our heart moves into the other chakras, into your other parts of your body. So the more that you can really give that to your own self, the more you begin to feel so much love inside of you. Like as I am moving my own body, I must move. I must allow any, energy to let it go and allow the goodness to come into me. That's how we move energy. We move energy by moving. We move energy by thinking. We move energy by affirming. So it's such an important process. And I used to also be really uncomfortable with myself, especially when I would speak up in meetings and stuff. Like I would always kind of just take notes and maybe talk to the person next to me afterwards, but never in front of a big room, And I used to dance. I used to go on stage, I used to do a lot of things. But even dancers, are shy to speak, to go on camera, to talk about their thoughts and their feelings, And when I started doing this kind of work, I was really scared. I was really scared. What are people going to think of me? What are people going to think of my thoughts? And someone really helped me. She was like, just think of a really good friend and act like you're talking to your good friends. And that was great, great advice. But what I want to say now that I've moved through that, all of that self-love was such an important part of my growth and my ability to speak my truth, regardless of what anybody thinks, because I'm doing it anyway. For me, for all the women behind me and with me and in front of me who really are desiring to speak their truth. It's so important. And, I realized I was also doing it for my children. It's so scary to speak up. It's so scary to say what you think and then have people maybe like look at you weird or laugh or whatever. I had that as a child and I remember it. It's come with me throughout all of these years. But what I realize is that when I speak up, I allow others to speak up. When I say my truth, I allow myself to give what I have inside of me to another, to myself, first and foremost, to myself. And that's beyond what anybody can give to me. Writing my poetry, writing my books, I co-authored a number of books. And that was really an important part of my process as well, because I was able to put that on paper and say, yes, this is what happened to me. This is what I believe. This is what really moves my soul. And if you like it, great. If you don't, that's also great. We are because we are. And we are allowed. We give ourselves permission to be whoever we desire to be. That's what self-love has done for me. So I want to take you through from December 11th, for 21 days. We are going to love our throats. We're going to love every part of ourselves. And I'm going to give you some technique every single day for you to utilize in your own homes. And I was just thinking as I was setting up for this today, I wanted to read a poem. And then if you have a question, please ask. So this poem is called Letting Go. I wrote this actually 3 years ago, almost to the day. Looking forward, walking forward, letting myself feel, easing into me. a new feeling of love, openness, possibilities, change, letting go of the fear, accepting and unfolding, clarity, knowing, uncovering and building me, showing my messy, flamboyant, radical, questionable, open self. It is liberating and terrifying, like confronting a lioness in the wild. Yet the lioness is me. Happy to close the false doors and thrashing through like a raging river, turbulently flowing into the ocean. So I hope you enjoyed that. And if you have any questions, please ask them. You can find this information, all of my free resources on my website. So feel free to go there if you have any questions or you want some more poetry to read or some articles. I've written a number of articles, as well as you can schedule a chat with me. So if you'd like to go into a deeper dive, before I do the 21-day Intimate Self Affirmation Self-Love Challenge, I definitely recommend booking a 15-minute call with me, a video chat, and we will just talk about what's going on. If you've been feeling like this really closed off, fearful, feelings about really standing up for yourself, speaking your truth in front of other people, really sharing your thoughts. As we are ascending spiritually, we are also having all sorts of epiphanies, of ideas and thought patterns. And, we are asked to share. So if you're feeling fearful and you're feeling challenged, that's okay. That's part of the process. Step into the fear and do it anyway. And I know you've heard that before. And I definitely recommend that. That's what I kept doing. And regardless of whatever was happening outside of me, I knew in my heart that that's what I needed to do. And that is the most foremost thing that is necessary. And so I just wanted to recap. If you wanted to get more information, you can definitely DM me as well. If you have a question, please feel free to ask it right here. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. We're going to be starting on December 11th. You can join my Facebook group, or I'm going to be live. It's all going to be live streamed on my Facebook group, my business page, and in YouTube. So I'd recommend that you come. It'll be around this time every day from December 11th on, and until we finish the 21 days. And 21 days, why? Because that's how we change habits. So I'm so glad those of you who joined, and those of you who are listening on the replay, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm looking forward to doing this with you and really helping to change your mindset and your habits and your thought patterns to really become the person that you're desiring to be, to become really comfortable with speaking your truth and really loving your throat, loving your voice, loving the things that you have to say. Thank you so much for listening. Namaste, Om Shanti, Shalom.